ladies and gentlemen, it was a cold-blooded, premeditated murder.
Never had something that's this absurd. Audible murder in the third degree. Brought a baby to a frequency, fan the place to another hits. Get away from my kitchen if you can't take the humidity. It's dark and hell is hot. I let them ride beneath my fucking feet. See, under the circumstances, I bring the standards and stand alone for this hyper-down collective decipher. You need Rosetta Stone. My head is a war zone. I go rebel. I feel like Sly Stallone. A literal kamikaze on carbon copies. I kill the clone. Let her put it on TV, email, CC, retweet, keep the receipt, repeat. Don't you delete, don't buy bullshit. That's EBT. Not human. I'm more like ET royalty, like Nefertiti. TNTB, ONBB, head you no longer breathe. Feeling the energy shifting with sinister cinema, similar syllabus, syllables, make it divisible. I'ma go in until I see the pinnacle, particle, pin with the pies, pivotal, kick it the most when you're doing the minimal, never distracted by data and numbers. The more of it's moving and reaching the summit, I'm an outlier, a top-notch prize fighter. My attitude's nothing to lose, like I'm a lifer. How's the Riker, stir striker, fire micer, I shine bright like headlights and highlighters. It'll get a little rocky, ASAP, just like Rihanna's feet is whenever I speak, they clap. That's onomatopoeia when it comes to rap, I snap. Damn, I leak the lead to let my people eat while I burn leeches, compose speeches that'll leave your speeches and sleepless. What's up under my sleeve is something so deceiving. The shock your system and cease your breathing. I'm the reason you should rehearse your verses before you speak. Call the nurse, call the doctor, call the pastor, call the dean. I can get analytical and give you a logical method to explain the madness. A matter of mathematics, manifest a pattern. Put a fork in the bitch when I finish the way that I'm spinning. I need to go see it. Did it from the muzzle, the physics is kind of steady. Say you couldn't catch me if you're weak. Win it on my worst day. Get my first place, give them first aid. They in need of it. I resuscitate them, blood circulating, heart palpitations. About to save the patient, put them under the knife for the surgery. Surgery making incision, assisting. They're really ready, chopping like machetes, throwing like confetti. I go over your head with it, feed them the medicine, give them the sedative, put them to bed with it. I'm in the pain of his relative. Most of these motherfuckers on the quest to be relevant. No, I do not for the sentiment if it ain't about my betterment. Fully aware that I am in a dirty game for the fame. People change, women lie, men lie. The numbers to rearrange in the name of unspeakable things. I really get caught on the back of that service surgeon. Gotta watch for the service lurking. But this shit, this is circus. Like Butterman Bailey's absurd. Then I will rise up from the ash like a mass to a mass. I flew right past, go 2D max. I won't relax, release these flows. I do just that. Beneath the ground, I walk in, crack that to the core. I make impact. Gotta shift like tectonics. Giving out concepts. Gotta reach every continent. I'm a killer with no conscience. I'm responsible to one of these consequences. Run, let's keep taking shit to make you flip, take you wild. I can make you slip your diss. I don't miss. I hit you to set your wrist. I can cease and desist. Make you quit inquisitive minds insist that I get back on my shit just like this. And I'm staying on top of it. Topical topics they giving a tyrant. I live in the lion's den. Battling with the beast, never the novices. Avoided the politics. All of the hypocrites, all of the heretics. The rhetoric that they give. I don't believe in this shit like an atheist. My faith is in 2 words, 6 letters. That's hip hop. No crossover, flip flop. Mainstream dick riding, kissing cock with a French lip lock until it drip drop. Looking to get ahead, but instead you came up with nothing. They wanted the glory, they wanted the fame, cause it goes together when it's pulling the salmon. They wanted the money to get through the sham. It's embarrassing, giving the morals for things. You running in circles, you going nowhere. Gotta find a direction to put you into position. Play the victim and put you into submission. It's a feeling of defeat. The reality you see, realizing you won't be. At the time it's appalling. At the end of the world, it's really a small thing. You are no king in the deep end with a small boat. If you can't swim, then you will sink and you will drown when it goes down. Like I'm one of the ones that is profound. So it's me, myself, and I like pronouns. Prolific profile. I notice the way that they feel in my style. That's no coincidence. Connected to the gift of the spirit like it's Corinthians. I'm giving a ceremonial rebirth like it's a christening. I've risen to the task to attain the skill to amass, to amuse the masses. I mastered the art of rap. It's a master class with a winner like Master Splinter. I taught them young, the best is yet to come. It's a marathon that I run, ready to regulate like the CDC or Nate Dogg and Warren G. These flows like CPR, that's a breath of fresh air. I make them breathe on point like CP3. How you handle shit is a major key. My rhymes keys intricate. It's succession of notes like MOT. The reoccurring simple is simple, but yet it's seldom seen. It's something so serene, but it's really cerebral. As you see, that's elementary. Like 1, 2, 3, or learning ABCs. They pondering the possibility of what it really means. One of the fan favorites, one of the game hated, one of they foul flagrant. Running around with the devil like I'm Van Halen. Like I'm reporting live like I'm Van Lathan from the local station. Spreading that sound all across the nation. Let the people play it. You see the way I'm displaying abilities. Only give it to a few and I'm chosen to chill in the fact you can fit in the fact. It's a formula that I afford to fire the flows and leave you mortified. The fortress that I built inside the lines of the composition. Pay attention to the rhythm. Yes, God. Knowledge. Nigga.
But remember, don't hesitate to call on me for any.
Hola, people. How we doing? Another boring day in the markets. We're just chilling still. Chilling in Cedar Rapids. Anybody do their homework last night? I know TW did. Watch the Pentaveret. I get it, man. I get it. Everybody's got time to watch the show on Netflix. At least one episode. Come on. Mike Myers here. But I'm on the 3rd episode now because I watched the first 2 episodes by myself, and then it was such a funny show that I had to include my sister to watch it, so I had to restart episode 1 and 2. Now I'm on episode 3. Also been watching a show called Severance that my buddy pitched to me, and that one's pretty good. It's like a suspense mystery type thing that's on Apple Plus. First episode's free. I think if you have an iPhone, you can get Apple Plus for $5 or something like that. So figured I'd watch it because it's a good show. But yeah, just chilling. Wasn't really a whole lot to talk about today, so I didn't feel eager to get on at the normal time. Also, kind of slept in as well. Now, I'm not just rolling out of bed. I did have a somewhat eventful day. You know, not really. It's raining outside, so couldn't do much. But, you know, we're here. And I will be streaming with Ryan tonight at about 9:30, 10 o'clock. We kind of just missed yesterday. I texted him too late to remind him. And, you know, like I didn't want to pressure him. So, like, I was just waiting for him to reach out to me because that's the last thing I want. I don't want Ryan to feel like I'm using him. You know, obviously, like me and him have differing opinions on stuff. So it's not like it's, you know, it's a good juxtaposition for us to be on a show together. Last night it felt like Bitcoin was a stable coin for a little bit. I swear to God, every time I checked my phone, it was the same price. I'd check like every hour, and it would be chilling at the same exact price point. That was right about here, I think. Yeah, we were literally just dancing along this $36,400 mark for quite a while, and yeah, like I don't have a whole lot to say today. Nothing's really changed. That's kind of the problem with streaming every single day, but nonetheless, I like to talk. I'm starting like a little workout regimen at nighttime. You know, I saw this 20-minute Joe Rogan thing with this. I don't know who the dude he was talking to was, but he brought up a good point. Like a lot of the times, like when we try to work out, it's to like the point of exertion, and then you're so sore the next day that you can't work out the next day. So I'm trying to keep everything that I do like light and simple. 1, because heart rate a little bit too high. 2, since I'm not very active, you know, even the smallest workouts can leave me, you know, kind of kaput for a couple days. So, you know, I'm doing some crunches the best I can, and doing my stretches more importantly. And then yeah, I got one of those little, not a foam roller, it's a lot more hard than that, but basically like I lay on it and it helps me stretch out the psoas muscle. Like my back isn't sore, but you know, doing the stretches, yeah, I can definitely tell there's some places where I need some work. So trying the best I can. Trying to increase my water intake. Well, David Goggins, you know, he'll tell you himself, like he pushed himself so hard that he almost killed himself because he didn't do any stretching. That's why he's so, you know, so on stretching now. He's like, I stretch for 3 hours straight. I can't do that. I can't do that yet, but maybe one day. But let's go over the market again, you know, like we've been doing the past couple of days. So let's check up on the CIX real quick. Like I said, someone did point out that the CIX only includes Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Bitcoin Cash, and forgot what other one there was. But I do think it's a good look at the macro measures here. So the CIX is still holding above this support line. So there is some reason to believe that there could be a case for a retest to the upside. It makes sense when you do have a large drop like this. There is always a potential for a retest to the upside. I'm not too concerned about it, me in particular. Now, switch over to Bitcoin. Bitcoin is below its last macro local low. Macro in terms of like relative price action to what we're trading on a daily basis. And then right now we still should be coming down over the next couple of weeks. Now there could be a retest back up to about 37,200. I'm not going to be too concerned about that. I have been debating with myself whether or not I'll hop into a long if we come back above 37,500. I don't know. Now, the reason for that is because if we can get back above that local low, there could be signs of support for further retest to the upside. So that's one reason, as well as that it coincides with one of the local lows from this downtrend. So we have sort of the medium macro lining up with the micro downtrend here. So like I said, no confirmation on whether or not I'm going to do that yet. We'll see once we get there if it happens. But one thing that we should be looking forward to, two things actually, either a retest of 37,200 and then a rejection following that, or a continuation drop back down to about 34,200 and 34,320. I'll mark out those levels so that you guys can see them. Okay. And we don't have too much show. Like I'm combining. Let's go ahead and just combine these two supports into one. All right, because they are so close together, but they are two separate local lows. So I'm going to move this down actually just a little bit to probably this halfway point here. I think that makes a lot more sense. So short term, once again, just reiterating, retest to the upside, look for a rejection around 37,200. Or if we don't see a retest, we should see continuation back down roughly to around 33,722. I do expect to see a retest to the upside there. But like I pointed out yesterday, with a lot of these larger ABCs, we tend to see a three-part structure for the A and the B, and then the C wave tends to be fast, taking advantage of people with hopium, I would suspect, and kind of liquidating them and causing an avalanche on the way down. Now, obviously, with this being a much, much larger structure than, say, the one from over here, that fast wave still might have slight retest to the upside. So I'm referring to, in particular, this one from over here. We have A, B, C, and then we have A, B, C. Oh, my bad. And then we had a fast C wave right here that put in a lower low. So we had A, B, and then fast C. Let me go ahead and delete the and so you guys can get a close up here. Now, I know what some people are going to say. Austin, we have a higher high right here, so technically that can't be it. I'm going to say that was an overreaction. That was still in the midst of the bull market. So there was more likely people to, want to jump back into the market once they see a significant bounce, and it might have overdone it. But if not, this would have been the primary trend with that slightly higher high retest and then rejection following suit. So like I said, I do think that there should be a possible retest coming in around that 33K mark. Now, I do either one, we have to put in a lower low off of $33,000 flat, 33,100, and then I can go ahead and take that long from there. But if not, I do need to see something like this come into play. All right, that retest to 37,200 might be that A. All right, if this is going to turn out to be a double bottom rather than a lower low and then come back above. And that will allow me to get into a long position as a possible hedge. Now, my main bias is still to the downside. unless we put in that lower low. If we can put in that lower low, technically from a strategic standpoint, I have to see that as the market maintaining bullishness, and then I can hedge long, and I have to hold that long. Now, hopefully the market gives me a decent short position so I can take profit on the short and then have a new place of confidence to go short from, but that's all in due time. That is not even close to being set up, so we'll see. If we fail to hold 33,000, the next place I'll be looking for longs at is around 28,000, well, $29,000 flat, and then see about what happens there. I don't want to talk too far in the future because I don't want to get people's anticipations too high, so we'll leave it at that. And then following Ethereum, or following Bitcoin with Ethereum, Ethereum is still not close to any local lows. We still have to come down to about 2,500 to 2,247 for me to get bullish on Ethereum. So what we would like to see from a macro standpoint is Ethereum and BTC sitting at macro local lows in order for us to get bullish on any other coins. Now, I'm not denying that there will be some pops to the upside on these altcoins just because with low volume, there can be some trickery that happens. But as far as it goes, that's my plan. I'm waiting for the correct setups, and we will take them when they are made. On KDA, I'm still short on KDA. Now, I know that some people might be looking for possible long positions on KDA just because this is the most recent separation of trend. You can see a lot of these retests of the upsides didn't really put in any three-part trends to kind of separate the trend. And I get that some people might be going, okay, we have an A, we have a B, and we did put in a lower low. Totally get that. If you did hedge that, there's no harm, no foul. I see why you did it. There's no, reason for me to, try to hate on you for that. Me personally, I am still sticking to the macro structure, and I'm confident in the short that I am in, and I will continue to be in the short that I'm in until roughly around, I would say 241, until we see something of a large structure on KDA, or if BTC gets down to about 29,000, maybe if it's showing signs of support at 33K, I'll think about hedging KDA, but there's so much downwards potential for KDA. I'm just going to play it to the short side. Remember, when I talk about coins, all right, I don't talk about them from a place of love or hate. All right, now shit coins are shit coins. We can all agree on that. But I don't personally think that a lot of things are shit coins. Like BTC, for example. I love Bitcoin. I think it's a great product. I don't think it's a currency. I think it's a store of value. I see its value. Doesn't mean that I'm not upfront and honest about what it can do in terms of downside potential. We've talked about the downside potential of all the way down to $13,000 based on local lows. All right, so I am not favoring anything. So when I talk about KDA, I know that because I share a community with Ryan, I'm not hating on the coin. I'm looking at the price structure objectively based on support and resistance and evaluating what my decisions are going to be from there. No hopium, no unrealistic expectations for a coin to perform well during a bear market. Strictly strategic evaluation. That's it. Because I know, there's some people that get upset when I talk about downside price action. So that's my plan, Stan. That's my plan. How you guys doing? What's going on? Let me scroll back up in the chat here. Any messages I missed? What's the over/under Kite ordering DoorDash tonight looks bullish? Already did. I got Chipotle with my sister when we watched Pentaveret, which I'm kind of disappointed. It wasn't really that good. I'll be honest. Kite, may I ask, in the bear market, is it easier to make money with short positions like in the bull run? Absolutely. So you can, it doesn't mean that I won't take long positions. It just means I need to be a little bit more cautious. Right? I took the long position here because it was lining up with a local low. Right? If we were just taking a long position in the middle of nowhere, all right, it does, I do tend to proceed with a little bit more caution. Right? With the inflation rate stagnant and the money stagnant or leaving the market, the mathematics are geared to the downside. That is a fact. Mathematics. Can't argue. Okay? Now, if the United States adopts crypto, okay, then we can talk about, that being out of proportion and me being wrong, because at that point, the money coming into the market is exceeding the inflation rate. Therefore, we can have upwards potential very, very easily. But unless that happens, ain't no reason. So shorts are definitely going to have a higher probability of working out over the next couple of years, but doesn't mean that there won't be upside retests, even some to be substantial. Okay, how much lower do you think the ENS short will go? I think it has a lot of potential. We talked about ENS in terms of the macro setup, not just the micro setup that we were looking at on the smaller time frames. And considering the fact, because this is what I was talking about before, with ABCs, you have to objectively look at price action and go, okay, all right, ENS at the moment has a downtrend that broke into an uptrend, but we have failed to make a second downtrend in this ABC setup. So we can expect that price action wants to go back down and retest at least $12.35, if not lower, put in a lower low. And then if the market shows bullishness around that $12.35 region, then we can go ahead and talk about it continuing to the upside. But we were talking about, in particular, playing this structure, ABC, by using this ABC top on the smaller time frames. I'll cut down this time frame right here so you guys can see. All right. So we used this time frame. Now, unfortunately, I'm not sitting in this short. All right, I get that. But it was there if you guys were able to keep your entries and not let the market maker shake you out. Market makers. All right. You should be sitting fine and dandy. Now, the reason why it is important that if the price action gives you an opportunity to take a short position prematurely before the macro has officially created its setup, aka coming back below the A. My man is freaking out. You do so because it can give you, it is a tad bit riskier, I will say, in the beginning, but if things all do work out appropriately, you now have like an extra line of defense. In order for the market to break back above this, we have to truly be bullish. All right. If we're not truly bullish, that's when we're going to see price action stopped, in its tracks on a retest. Now you can see the market came below that initially, showing signs of weakness in that area. It did have a retest to the upside. You got to have some balls in order to hold on to your shorts during that period of time. And then, because the market failed to get back above this resistance and continue the trend, we come back down. Now there could be a retest back up to $21.30. All right, but if the market isn't truly bullish, it should stop there. And then we should see more downside continuation. That's where if you hate, if you suck it up, let that that profit roll back a little bit. There's always more to be had if you're paying attention to what price action wants to do. Because like I said, the market's sole intention is not to, obviously there's an extra layer of game going on in terms of, people trying to stop other people out in order to take advantage of the liquidity. But more importantly, a market's sole purpose is to test, right? That's all it is. Test whether or not the price of the asset is true at that moment in time. Like I said, with the inflation rate and the money being stagnant or declining, those tests are going to be to the downside more often than not, but it does not mean that there won't be tests to the upside as well. We're just pricing in Bitcoin to what it should be. That's all. And Garrett, yes. So once Bitcoin gets down to around 33 to 29K, I will start transferring over some of my portfolio into Inverse Perpetual and starting to make those Bitcoin and Ethereum trades on Inverse Perpetual. Because when you're dealing with those types of macro local lows, it does make more sense because that can be the bottom, right? These small time frames, you know, they can be the bottom, but the likelihood is so low, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to start switching over to Inverse Perpetual quite now. Silicone took the NS short? Nice. Fish. Can you explain how you drew your ABC on Bitcoin to get your short entry at 45,359? Yeah. So I'll kind of like, obviously I'm gonna create the story, all right, of how we got here. So when price action had this uptrend right here, all right, we had a downtrend following it. Now, I could be super oopa duper bearish and say that it's going to continue to dump, but I didn't think that it was likelihood. Now, I was preparing for the fact that we might put in a lower low than 33,000 and create a larger ABC structure, which from that we could have seen much higher numbers, but we didn't. So, during this B trend, right, because if I only have an uptrend and a downtrend, I only have an A and a B. If there is an ABC formation within that B trend, I can take that and hold on to it for a retest of the A, looking for that C. So once we put in a higher high than that A, all right, that created the large macro ABC. So at this point in time, I was still holding my long position because we did have the availability of going back up and retesting 52,000. But just because I was bullish at the time for 52K does not mean that if we don't come back below, now I used this high right here because I felt that was a little bit more safe, and it was the better option considering the fact that it was dancing along this A line, and you would have gotten stopped out a good couple extra times. You know, I just use that because it is a macro local high and it was a solid support and resistance. So once we came back below that, which I used this pretty much as my A, all right, that's when I entered my short. Now the actual structure was this, but those two resistances are so close to each other, they're pretty much the same. So once we came back below that, I was now in the macro short. But you might be saying to yourself, well, weren't you still in a long at that point as well? Did you take profit at the top here? No, I did not. Once the market had a downtrend, uptrend, downtrend, right? Now I have a new bullish ABC that if the market is going to continue to go up, I can always go long from 44,228. So once we put in that lower low, then 44,208, I took profit on my long because, like I said, I'm really not missing out on much. You might go, well, you're missing out on profits. Am I really? All right. I'm making sure that I have a secure place where I know that I'm safe to the downside now, right? And if we are still going to go to the upside, I'm safe to the upside. I can always retake this long. All right. So that's how I played this price action. And I'm doing the same exact thing with this short. So with this short, this is the largest ABC currently in trade. All right. The trend that we're currently in is caused by this price action. So until we form a, either a larger or same degree ABC, I don't have any reason to be bullish. All right. Which is the reason why I'm saying if we have downtrend, uptrend, downtrend, and this ABC comes to fruition, that's when I need to take a macro hedge long. I will still be holding my short, but I will also be holding that long. And then from there, if the market does give me a new place of confidence to go short from, aka something like this maybe, a little A, B, C, I can always go short from here. Okay? And if we do continue going up past that point, I have the long position. Playing it safe, playing it smart, not looking for maximum profit, looking for maximum security. That's what I'm trying to do with this challenge portfolio now. Seems like everybody was listening intently because nobody typed in chat while I was talking about that. But if that answers your question, I'm glad. Yeah, I mean that's what I'm trying to get rid of the habit from. Especially like with my macro account, the trades I take have always been pretty decently large. But on the challenge portfolio, because I'm dealing with smaller amount of money and I'm trying to, play it for show kind of, I do tend to mess things up. So that's why I'm trying to practice this approach, waiting and waiting for the market to give me the correct thing to do. And then from there I can play it appropriately. But otherwise, I hold the trades. Man, you have a fascination with Mike Tyson, Ocean. Do you think Mike Tyson is smart enough to learn ABCs? I think so. I think anybody is. I mean, it's on the surface. A lot of people make fun of the fact that I talk so much about ABCs, and they're like, "Oh, it's so simple." The strategy is simple, but your emotions are not. Right? You can have the easiest strategy to follow in the world, but sometimes your emotions are just not up to par. Now, the ABC strategy I do think is one of the best strategies that I've developed in terms of allowing myself to be less emotional in the market, but it still happens. You can't help it. You're human. That's why it takes a lot of practice, setting up the alerts, not looking at your chart when it matters is when you're looking at your chart. That way you can build up the habit of not being influenced by the price action. Except the letter S. That is so mean. You better hope you're not sitting on a plane with them and saying that. You wouldn't even see it coming. You're just boom, done. I like the Mike Tyson. I feel like he was like Spider-Man pulling his punches. Because Mike Tyson, like versus like a normal dude and not a heavyweight champion, probably one punch is gonna like give you brain damage. So he was probably, just pulling his punches a little bit, making sure that he didn't kill the dude. I look at TRDC. I think it's a scam. TRDC. If I open this wall, it's not even on TradingView, so I think that answers your question. And it's like, that used to mean something. I remember when Bybit used to mean something too. Bybit only used to have the macros, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin. There's been a smaller time frame ABC short on algo that I've been in. Now we're tracing to the upside, but my instinct is to hold the short. What are your thoughts? Sure, I'll take a look at it. You said there's an echo in my mic. Is there still an echo in my mic right now? I don't think I have any. I'll show you my processing stack. I have noise reduction as the first, and then I have a gate and a compressor. What's my mic level right now? Hello, check 1 2 1 2. Okay, so I'm going past that pretty easily. Got a compressor, limiter. I don't have reverb on anymore. I can maybe tone that down a little bit for you. And I got a de-esser, which Mike Tyson doesn't need one of those. He has a built-in one. So now I'm gonna get killed by Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson, I'm so sorry. I love you so much. You're a good human. I like to think that Mike Tyson's watching my streams. I also like to think that Mike Tyson's watching my dreams. He's like the puppet master. What was I doing? Oh, I was gonna go look at algo for Ben. Sorry, Ben. Okay, so you are talking about a smaller time frame ABC, and you said ABC short. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the macro first, all right, because that is important. Once again, no matter what you're doing, you always start with the macro here. So if we look at the local highs of algo, all right, so once again, local high, you find that by looking at, kind of relax your eyes and look at the market as a whole. Don't get caught up in all the chop. We're looking at general trends here. So let's mark out the general trends. All right, so we had an ABC top here at $2.55 on algo, and then we had the macro ABC top on algo. So look, this is a really good example of what happened on ENS, but on a much larger time frame, in a larger degree. So we had this macro ABC here, you know, marking out the points of the A's, the B's, the C's, and then on the smaller time frames within the C wave, we had ABC. All right, so it could have got you a better entry, making you safer overall. So let's go ahead and mark out the local highs with red, and then the local lows with green. All right, so on a macro scale, right now on algo, you are sitting underneath one of the macro local highs. Local highs are primary resistance. Now, local lows can become resistance, but you know, it's usually you want to flow with what they were created as. Now, once again, with the macros, especially the farther away you are from the creation of them, they are going to act more as a area rather than a direct point. But for the sake of time and cleanliness, we'll do direct points. So, algo does not have any support unless it can hold where we're currently at. If it cannot hold where we're currently at, we have the availability of dropping down to 22 cents. You heard me right. Now, does it mean that it's going to? No, but that is the next support, the next logical place for price action to test if we do fail to hold here. All right, and you're seeing this across the board on a lot of altcoins where we're underneath macro supports, still holding support. What does that tell you? All right. Now you're going to have the bullas that go, well, that means we're super, uber, duper bullish. And despite being underneath the supports, we're still holding. Or it could be higher accounts soaking up market liquidity, letting you build long positions, and then flipping the switch. And then they can liquidate past a lot of these buy walls. So be careful. So once again, I wanted to approach it from a macro standpoint, just because that is a area of importance, in which is what we're sitting in right now. Which I did want to say that because it gives credence to your short. Now, I'm going to go down to the smaller time frames. The only thing that is kind of concerning is this is a battleground region. This was an area that was retested as support, but was also previous resistance. So it can be any man's game. It gives a lot of opportunity to the bears and the bulls, which is why you have a lot of choppy price action in these areas where you had a double retest. Once it was resistance, and then once it got back above, came back down and retested support. You can see that right here at 66 cents. All right, so that's why this area is in particular a very dramatic region to be playing in. And don't be surprised if you do have a couple decent stops for whatever setups that you're playing. Now, one thing that I will say is look at what your price action is telling you here, right? we have an A to the upside. Let me make sure I can get this a little bit larger for you. We have an A to the upside and a ABC to the downside. Okay, so I want to be frank with you here that I do think that you taking shorts in this region from a macro perspective is a decent idea. But the problem is if we do look at the medium micro, we can see that price action has an uptrend, price action has a downtrend, and within that downtrend, it showed an ABC. So, in particular, don't be surprised if you do get stopped out of your short position and we form a larger one right here. All right, you'll get a higher entry and it's closer to your macro local high as well, which is your primary resistance. So, it's actually a pretty good idea. I'm actually going to bookmark this one for myself. I'm not going to hop in on any of these lower time frames, but if I do see a higher high than 74 cents, which with the likelihood of BTC possibly coming back up and retesting 37,200 can happen. All right, I'll be taking a short on algo from 74 cents myself. Very good position, but like I said, don't be surprised if short term you do get stopped out. I'm assuming that one of the short positions that you're sitting in is maybe on like a much smaller time frame, possibly this one right here, or maybe this one right here. But if we're looking at the bigger picture, like I said, I don't think that you should interrupt the process. If you took your short based on a certain set of factors, don't let what I just said influence your current position. I don't want to be the reason why you get out and everything falls flat on its face, because it still can. But I'm saying from someone on the outside looking in, I'm looking at what I'm seeing and I just want to wait a tad bit longer. If I don't get the position, so be it. But I do see the availability for a larger setup with a little more consistency in the future, considering the fact that we might have a slight retest to the upside, back up to around, 37,200. So hopefully that was a really good explanation. Oh, you said you're short from 73 cents. So that might be damn near close to where I was referring to. But I don't see necessarily... You said 73 cents? So did... oh... Okay, I'm glad that you're in a good position right now, but are you trying to tell me right now that you were playing this? Okay, it worked out, all right. So be it. But that is a crackhead time frame if I've ever seen one, man. Crack, crack, crack. That's all we smoke, smoke, smoke. You should make a paid Discord for signals. I have a Discord, and I do call out when I get into new positions. Interesting stuff, because if you think of the ABC starting on 4/22, are you talking about this one right here? Yeah, really good position. And it kind of, well, yeah, I see what you're saying. It does line up with that macro resistance that we just talked about. There's no way Mike Tyson could understand that, Kite. Whoa, come on, man. I tried. For algo. I'm looking at algo right now. Am I not? Algo USD. Hi, how are you? What's going on, Wyatt? You like how I knew exactly how that sounded? Hi, how are you? SpongeBob voice activate. But no man. Ben, you get the credit for that. That's a see, it's not always bad when someone pitches an altcoin. Now, algo, that's a coin that I've been familiar with, so if you pitch me some altcoin that just got listed on KuCoin 18 days ago, I don't care if there's an ABC setup on it. Doesn't matter to me. One thing I've been doing has been interesting insight is I look at the number of different alts and see which ones are most correlated in terms of price action. There has been several ABC shorts. Yeah, past like 3 days, it's rained down here where I'm at. It's raining right now. Also, is Crypto Jesus in the chat right now? Because, like, so a lot of the times when people message me, I might be doing something, but this guy started messaging me a couple months ago, and he kind of just, I haven't responded because it's a little bit weird. I feel like this is like the crypto Illuminati trying to like they send me inspirational quotes, which I mean I love them, you know. Everybody can always use a good inspirational quote, but the fact that there's no context in which it's coming from, like, you know, if they went like, "Hey Kite, I saw your stream today. You're talking about this. Here's something that I think might help." You know, like you learn nothing from winning, only from failure. And then the next message is Tuesday/Wednesday high, Thursday low. The man who loved walking will walk further than the man who loved destination. Tails, Proton, and Onion, referring to, I guess, dark web. I don't know what language that is. I use Trello, which there's no correspondence. Like, sending me website links. I have not clicked on any of these links because unless I like know you or you're in my group or I have some sort of affiliation with you, I don't tend to just click on links here. So Crypto Jesus is in the chat right now, trying to watch over me from the heavens. Let me know who you are and give me some sort of context, man. Give me some context. Setups which may be distorted from alt to alt, but they hold the same macro actions. So some of the alt, so for some alt, the ABC will be more extreme. And I take the short on the one with the highest high. Fair enough. Well, I'm not sure, but because like traditional leverage trading in the way that we use it wasn't available until the end of the 2018 bear market. But there might have been like a CMC long on Bitcoin that has been a lot longer. But I'm not going to stream too long today. I'm probably going to hop off here in about 5-10 minutes. Because, like I said, I'm going to be on Ryan's stream tonight. Like 9:30, 10 o'clock. So, if you want to see more of me, I'll be there. And, yeah, besides that, back to boring. You know, the market's a really good understanding of how like the dopamine in our brain is supposed to work. You know, it seems like we're accustomed to constant dopamine, but yeah, there's just supposed to be these small moments in time where your dopamine spikes and you're super happy and everything's fine and dandy. That was yesterday. You know, I'm at the mall chilling, eating Five Guys with the fam. I look at my phone and I'm a rich bitch. I'm out. My grandma called and wants to drink some beer. Take care, Garrett. I don't know if that's like the most depressing or most gangster statement I have ever heard in my life. Your grandma is a hoot. Thanks for sharing your strat, Kite. I'm trying to learn, and hopefully one day I can do what you do. I appreciate it, man. It does take some practice, I know, in terms of controlling your emotions, being able to hold on to trades. But it comes with time, and the more that you see it work out in your favor, the more your brain starts to understand, okay, this is the appropriate way to do things. We know it hurts short term, but it's for the betterment of our portfolios. Interested to hear what you think about the chart on Dent. It has a wild chart, but it's a solid pod project. Thinking of a big macro long. Well, here's the thing. Once again, if we look at the macro direction of the crypto market as a whole, even though I might be more bullish on one project than the next, I'm not going to long it just because I like that project more than the rest. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, all the macros are bearish. So now, like, what's your definition of a macro long? You know, because I'll look at the chart. I'll look at the chart. I'm not trying to be arrogant. So I see what you're seeing, you know, if we're looking at the macro here. Only problem is that you have a much larger ABC in play as well. So you have this one right here, which is looking like that's what it's trying to do over the course of, so we're looking for still around 0.15 cents or 15% of a cent. But if we can't hold support there, the next support is all the way down here. So we'll see. I don't know a lot about the project, so like I'm not going to destroy it from a fundamental point of view, but the market is bearish and it looks like it wants to do an ABC like that. That is a setup that can be happening, but it could be like all the other altcoins where it has the A, has the B, it's in the C wave. It might even come back below and then come back up to retest, but then get rejected and see further downside. So I don't know, time will tell. It's a solid setup, so there's no shame in taking it if it does come to fruition, but I personally don't think the longs are going to work out to the upside as much as we might like think. Alright guys, I'm gonna start saying goodbye today. If you guys liked the song I played in the beginning, that was Con, Knowledge Above All Nonsense. It's an acronym. And he just came out with a song called Audio Killer, I think. Audio. And that was the one I played in the beginning. Con, like he's the man. Audio Murderer. Alright. Very good rapper. I don't quite know. There's a couple. I'm gonna probably play Chris Webby on the way out today. A lot of good songs on my release radar this time around. We got Metaverse by Chris Webby. I'll add that to the songs I played on Livestream playlist. And we'll leave it with that. So I'll load this up. Webby Wednesday's back. It's back. It's also raining insanely outside, so it's probably best because I might lose power. But, alright guys. Hey again, Mr. Kite, would you mind looking at Crow, please? Not right now. But if you come on to the stream with me and Ryan tonight, I'll throw Crow into the list of stuff that we look at, because I was interested in Crow as well, because looking for alternatives to proof of work mining for my GPUs is a concern for me. So I'm right up your alley. I want to know what's up with it as well. Isn't Chris Webby a basketball player? I'm not sure. But he's a rapper. There might be two Chris Webbys. Alright guys, let's do the thing. And you guys know Chris Webby. I've played him 1,000 times. If you guys like freedom and snarky comebacks, stick around for the song. You might like it. Alright guys, I will see you tonight. Other than that, and I got these shirts. I like them, but I'm a little bit too fat. I don't know if you can see my nipples. Okay, well, that was a little bit strange. I'll leave on that note. All right. Quick goodbye. I'm the Hulk.
Yeah. Webby. So it's 2022. Another year of this fucking bullshit, huh? All right. I'll smack you right up out the metaverse. So hit the dirt when I get to work. Try to wrap your mind around it and your head'll burst. Got them cell block bars, we in Leavenworth. Come in and conquer the game, God, I'm on red alert. Living through this hell on earth that we call reality. As we've come accustomed to these fucking abnormalities. Mandates and laws and having a fucking mask on me. No one thinking rationally, they lost their capacity. And as a free thinker, I'm inevitably labeled a danger as they questioning my efficacy. I'm just here to say whatever I see. Stirring up a little vaccine hesitancy. Because celibacy's just the way that I think. Cause I don't give a fuck. There ain't no gender fluidity with my dick and nuts. Not to say that that's a problem, cause it isn't. But don't we have some more important issues to be bringing up? I don't know. Coming together against a common foe. Instead of knocking each other down like we playing dominoes. The World Economic Forum, shit, those fuckers gotta go. And fuck Big Pharma. But I like some of their products though. I guess we're all just hypocrites at least a little bit. Even if it's something that y'all rarely ever will admit. But can we throw some self-awareness on the syllabus and hold ourselves accountable? While y'all consider it, I'll call myself out right now. now and do it gladly. Yo, they'll never vax me while I snort a 30 milli addy and a Zanny. So get at me, say I contradict my own beliefs, yeah exactly. We all say stuff that conflicts what we do. You could say that I suck, guess what, so do you. There ain't a perfect person that anyone's ever knew, so I'll point this loaded gun at your point of view. How about the kids these days, always holding those phones like I'm not level 39 on Pokemon Go. I'm a hypocrite, so let me say it again. Type to smoke a couple bogeys on the way to the gym. Yeah, I live like a heathen, got someone I don't really believe in, but ask for his help when I got a reason. Put up 50 grand last year to protect the animals in an African region, but I'm not a vegan. Sorry. Shit, I love a good burger, don't blame me. Even climate change can't change me. 2022, new year, same me. Same motherfucking gang, baby, ADHD. Keep the flow fresh while the critics take apart every single word that don't align with what they say is art. Fuck a music chart, my music already made a mark. I'm Megalodon, y'all Duke the Duke, baby shark. So pull 'em up, go and show my stats. All these years that I've been grinding till I broke my back. My words spark reaction. Shout out to No Life Shack. Haters chirping, I don't write back. I'ma take over the map, Connecticut to Iraq. Shit, I'm running for the office of presidency of rap. Kissing baby, shaking hands like a Nintendo Rumble pack. Fuck the competition, never cut 'em slack. Yeah, I cook 'em up like Gardy Bucco and serve 'em with prosciutto. Pushing all the snakes out my circle, I keep it sumo. Do not come around if your deficiency's immuno. I'm the sickest motherfucker you know. Playing every card in my hand till I'm yelling Uno. Not a source of news, but all I say is truth though. Let's go Brandon, yell it from the roof, yo. Shout to my Canadian fans, but fuck Trudeau. I'm Cujo, and you can never tie me on a leash. I'm that shadow band bandit, they can't silence what I speak. Fuck a tyrant, I'm a beast. I'm a giant, hit the sirens when I slide up on the beats. Then like ivy on the trees, see them numbers growing up and all without a deal. Living proof that there gon' always be a market for the real. Motherfuck the algorithms trying to target how you feel. Fuck your partisan arguments, I'm the hardest on the field. Then I hit another three-pointer from the half court. Nothing but some net, I don't even hit the backboard. Rap game vet, here to give them what they ask for. Till I get whacked by a CIA task force. Cause they know the way I flip on wax and kill all rappers. Yeah, I never miss on that. Wednesday before last, but we still on track. It's 2022, bitch, Webby Wednesday's back.